As dawn spreads across the mountain range, a grizzly bear begins its survival patrol. It follows tracks along the ground, listening to every sound echoing through the valley. In an instant, its slow pace shifts into a powerful, deliberate approach. Any predator or prey crossing its path can quickly find itself at a disadvantage. This is when North America witnesses the true strength of one of its great wilderness icons. The North American grizzly bear is one of the continent's most iconic large mammals. An adult male can weigh around 1,000 pounds and stand more than 8 feet tall. Unlike specialized predators, grizzly bears are highly adaptable omnivores. They hunt deer, catch salmon, dig for rodents, and take advantage of available food sources. Across harsh landscapes, the grizzly stands as a symbol of North America's natural strength. Across the vast taiga forests, moose stand out with a rugged, untamed presence. Weighing around 1,500 pounds and standing over 6 feet tall, they are giants of wetlands where muddy ground and shallow lakes intertwine. In early spring, when food remains scarce, grizzly bears often look for opportunities around newly born calves. The pursuit pushes a mother moose and her calf towards the water's edge, where the mother makes her final stand. The water and open shoreline become natural defenses, forcing the grizzly to keep its distance and calculate each move. Yet in the wild, patience can be just as important as strength. The grizzly maintains pressure through repeated movements, waiting for the calf to slow and the coordination between mother and young to weaken. When an opportunity appears, it takes control of the situation, turning a brief moment into a valuable source of energy. By summer, the grizzly's strategy changes with the terrain. It may remain concealed in dense forest, watching a solitary adult moose enter a lake in search of aquatic vegetation. In deeper water and muddy terrain, the moose's heavy movements become restricted, while the waiting grizzly gains an advantage in closing the distance. The ability to read terrain, seasons, and brief moments of vulnerability defines the grizzly's adaptability. Grizzly bears rely not only on physical strength, but also on every available opportunity, from lake shores to roadsides, to survive across the vast wilderness. Across North America, wolves roam like nomads of the ancient forests. Weighing around 100 pounds and living within tightly organized packs, they know how to turn distance and coordination into advantages. Yet the presence of a grizzly bear makes every advance more cautious. Each encounter becomes a careful contest between authority and strategy. At times, a wolf pack discovers a food source that a grizzly has buried beneath the snow. The wolves spread out, circle their rival, and maintain a pace of around 20 miles per hour while searching for an opening. Even so, the grizzly remains steady as a rock, calm under the pressure of the surrounding pack. That unwavering presence eventually forces the wolves to look for another opportunity. In another situation, when wolves gather around a food source they worked hard to secure, a grizzly may slowly approach to claim a share. With its superior size, it moves into the center of the situation without relying on complicated tactics. Its sheer body mass quickly disrupts the wolves' formation. Faced with too much risk, the pack spreads out and gives up most of what it had secured. In the end, these encounters clearly reveal the grizzly's natural standing. Across a home range that can exceed 30 square miles, it maintains its advantage through endurance, composure, and the ability to command space. Spring in Yellowstone brings new life to deer herds and their newly born young. But as the snow melts, the wilderness also enters a demanding season of survival. For grizzly bears emerging from hibernation, smaller and more vulnerable individuals become priority targets. With its highly developed sense of smell, a grizzly follows scent trails, approaching with slow but deliberate steps. Once the distance is close enough, the grizzly makes a sudden move that sends the deer herd into confusion. Amid the disruption, a young deer loses pace and moves beyond the protection of the herd. Within just a few moments, the approaching grizzly quickly gains the advantage. In another encounter, an adult deer attempts to escape through a forest scattered with fallen trees. The tangled terrain makes each stride more difficult, while the grizzly maintains steady pressure. At speeds of around 35 miles per hour, it persistently closes the distance. As the deer begins to lose pace, the advantage shifts toward the more enduring animal. The grizzly's ability to select its target and read the terrain helps it stand out during the hunting season. In many populations, fewer than 40% of young deer survive their first year. In the wild, success depends not only on strength, but also on choosing the right moment to act. The massive grizzly bear is often seen as a symbol of power across the cold, untouched forests of the wilderness. Yet in many situations, some of the greatest pressure comes from other grizzlies. The reasons often involve competition over territory, food resources, or access to mates during the breeding season. Scent markings help grizzlies recognize other individuals while signaling that another bear has been active in the area. When an unfamiliar rival enters a sensitive zone, the atmosphere can quickly become tense. An encounter often begins with upright postures, deep vocalizations, and powerful displays with the front limbs. If the pressure continues to build, repeated approaches may follow until the less dominant individual is forced to leave the area. During midsummer in mountainous terrain, a male grizzly may threaten young bears in an effort to create a new breeding opportunity. Faced with this situation, the mother takes a defensive position, stands her ground, and firmly places herself between the unfamiliar bear and her cubs. Using the terrain and determined protective behavior, the mother creates enough space for her cubs to move away from danger. The grizzly's journey to adulthood is therefore shaped by challenges, experience, and the ability to read each situation. Overcoming adversity is part of the natural order that allows the strongest individuals to maintain their advantage for future generations. In early fall, Alaska's glacial rivers witness salmon traveling hundreds of miles upstream to return to their spawning grounds. Along the rushing water, grizzly bears patiently wait for this abundant source of protein. After months of feeding on scattered resources, they need to build fat reserves for the long winter ahead. Prime locations are often found near waterfalls or deep pools, where salmon leap and briefly lose momentum against the current. As the fish become more concentrated, the bear's hunting activity quickly intensifies. Grizzlies rise, shift direction, and seize the right moment when an opportunity appears. This is the period of hyperphagia, when bears consume large amounts of food in preparation for hibernation. Under favorable conditions, an adult may consume around 90 pounds of food per day. As a result, these prime locations quickly become tense gathering points along the riverbank. Stronger individuals challenge rivals with deep vocalizations, upright postures, and commanding stares. Rather than engaging in direct confrontation, they rely on body language to pressure rivals into giving way. By the end of the season, grizzlies that hold the best positions take advantage of the remaining salmon run. In turn, salmon continue to nourish birds, bears, and otters, while carrying nutrients back into the forest through the movements of grizzly bears. Across the cold valleys of western North America, the puma stands as a symbol of adaptability. Weighing around 150 pounds and measuring nearly 7 feet long, it combines speed with agility. These advantages help the puma survive alongside many larger rivals. Normally, The puma's smartest strategy is to keep its distance from grizzly bears. But when the massive bear moves too close to where the cubs are sheltered, the mother's protective instincts immediately take over. Rather than prolonging the confrontation, the mother puma uses quick approaches, constantly changes direction, and applies pressure from different angles. This strategy forces the grizzly to consider each step carefully. Faced with such persistence, the grizzly often chooses to leave the area rather than risk an unnecessary confrontation. That moment reveals that size alone does not determine every outcome in nature. Sometimes, a mother's devotion becomes one of the greatest strengths in the wilderness. This limbless reptile is a true master of patience in the wild. Without relying on massive size, it can detect the smallest opening and recognize an opponent's vulnerability. As it approaches its target, every movement is guided by finely honed survival instincts. The instant a sign of danger appears, its response is faster than the eye can follow. What happens when nature brings a pursuit to an end in the blink of an eye? The cobra stands as a symbol of intimidation in the reptile world. With the king cobra reaching an average length of about 12 feet, it does not rely on long pursuits. Instead, it depends on powerful neurotoxic venom, explosive speed, and the ability to control the pace of an encounter. In the humid forests of Asia, the mongoose is the king cobra's small but legendary rival. It has no venom, yet its compact body, lightning-fast reflexes, and remarkable natural resistance to snake venom make it an unpredictable opponent. As the distance closes, the king cobra repeatedly raises its hood, pivots with precision, and delivers rapid defensive strikes to block every approach. The mongoose responds with quick sideways leaps and sudden changes of direction close to the ground, forcing the snake to expend valuable energy. The encounter becomes a contest between the cobra's commanding defensive display and the mongoose's relentless agility. If the cobra maintains its distance, it remains an imposing defensive force. But a single mistimed movement can allow the mongoose to close in, forcing the snake to withdraw from the encounter. In life, sharp awareness and the wisdom to defend personal boundaries are often more valuable than rushing into every conflict. If nature awarded a title for sheer toughness, the honey badger would almost always be among the first mentioned. This animal is renowned for rarely backing down, while snakes make up about 25% of its diet in some regions. That turns every encounter into a test of endurance, venom, and survival instinct. When facing a mole snake nearly 6 feet long, the honey badger does not rely on determination alone. Its front claws, measuring nearly 1.5 inches, Help it dig, close the distance, and disrupt the snake's advantage beneath the ground. But the mole snake is not entirely passive. It coils its body, maintains distance, and responds with extremely fast defensive reflexes. That exchange turns the encounter into a tense battle of strategy beneath the dry soil. Against a Bitus viper, the challenge becomes even more severe. When its space is invaded, the snake immediately tightens its defensive posture and reacts with alarming speed. Although the honey badger may overcome the encounter, the danger does not disappear. The effects of the venom can slow it for several hours, creating a vulnerable opening for larger predators. In the wild, every victory comes with risks waiting close behind. There, strength must always be matched by absolute caution. Deep within the dense forests of Asia, the king cobra holds one of the highest positions among reptiles. Reaching lengths of up to 18 feet, this impressive snake plays a unique role in the food chain. Its diet is highly specialized, feeding primarily on other snakes, including pit vipers and smaller cobras. With a natural level of resistance to certain snake venoms, it can pursue prey that many predators avoid. When food becomes scarce, survival instincts can drive the king cobra toward even more demanding choices. It may prey on smaller snakes of its own kind, making competition part of nature's balance. Yet the king cobra's remarkable abilities extend beyond its dominance over other snakes. It is the only snake known to build a nest by gathering leaves, a behavior rarely seen among reptiles. During the breeding season, a female may lay as many as 50 eggs. She remains coiled around the nest for several weeks, helping maintain an incubation temperature of about 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Even so, the rainforest offers few guarantees for the next generation. Fewer than 2% of hatchlings survive to adulthood, highlighting just how demanding survival can be in the wild. Across the planet, more than 4,000 species of snakes inhabit environments ranging from dense rainforests and deserts to high mountain regions. Most species live solitary lives, coming together only during the breeding season or when environmental conditions bring them into contact. As cold-blooded reptiles, snakes sometimes gather to absorb warmth or share sheltered resting places. Their remarkable adaptability allows them to thrive from sea level to elevations of thousands of feet. Within the natural world, snakes quietly help regulate prey populations and maintain ecological balance. In the world of reptiles, pythons represent the group of non-venomous snakes that rely on extraordinary muscular strength. Their greatest advantage is not venom, but bodies exceeding 15 feet in length, hundreds of flexible vertebrae, and powerful muscles built for endurance. Once a secure hold is established, each coil applies steady pressure, allowing the python to quickly gain the upper hand. As an important part of wetland ecosystems, pythons define the art of hunting through concealment. Their patterned scales blend seamlessly into surrounding vegetation, while highly sensitive heat-sensing pits detect nearby movement. Rather than relying on long pursuits, they remain motionless for hours, waiting for the perfect moment to move in. The tension rises when the opponent is a crocodile, the dominant predator of shallow waters with a bite force exceeding 2,000 pounds per square inch. Yet within dense vegetation, a single mistimed movement can create an opportunity. The python immediately coils its body, secures its position, and turns its powerful muscles into a decisive advantage. In the Florida Everglades, invasive Burmese pythons have become a major ecological challenge, with estimates ranging from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of individuals. In nature, no position of dominance lasts forever. True strength belongs to those that remain patient, conserve their energy, and seize the right moment to survive. Among the world's most formidable reptiles, the African black mamba is renowned for speeds of up to 12 miles per hour and an exceptionally responsive nervous system. With a long, slender body reaching about 9 feet in length, it has become one of the most respected predators of the African savanna. Rather than relying on long periods of silent waiting, the black mamba depends on swift, decisive strikes. After the first strike, it typically retreats and patiently follows its target until the encounter comes to an end. This hunting strategy allows the snake to conserve energy while maintaining control of the situation. Its strong territorial instinct also makes the black mamba a determined defender, willing to stand its ground against much larger animals, including lions. Often regarded as one of the fastest reptiles on Earth, it delivers rapid, purposeful strikes with remarkable precision. Its distinctive jet-black mouth serves as a clear warning display, and every defensive response is powerful enough to discourage even the boldest challengers. Yet nature always maintains its balance when the black mamba encounters the much smaller mongoose. With extraordinary reflexes and exceptional agility, this agile opponent can evade repeated attacks with remarkable skill. That dramatic shift in the encounter is a reminder that no predator remains unbeatable forever. It is one of nature's enduring lessons about respecting the strengths of every species. Across the sun-scorched deserts, where relentless heat bakes every inch of the landscape. A sharp rattling sound breaks the silence. That unmistakable signal comes from the rattlesnake, a master of camouflage with its distinctive warning mechanism at the tip of its tail. Measuring about 5 feet in length, this remarkable reptile helps regulate rodent populations and maintain the delicate balance of North America's ecosystems. Yet even this quiet defender must face formidable rivals. The roadrunner shares the same arid landscape, where speed and quick reflexes determine every moment of survival. With rapid bursts of movement and sudden changes in direction, it repeatedly disrupts the snake's familiar defensive rhythm. Their encounter turns the sun-baked sand into a tense contest between patience and agility. From above, the red-tailed hawk creates a different kind of pressure. With its broad wings and exceptional eyesight, it detects movement on the ground before descending for a closer approach. The rattlesnake immediately coils its body, assumes a defensive posture, and sounds its warning rattle to maintain a safe distance. In that moment, its greatest strength lies not in pursuit, but in its ability to make an opponent think twice before moving closer. Across its vast territory, the grizzly bear continues forward as part of the forest's ancient rhythm. Each footprint carries not only its weight, but also reflects its ecological role. It reminds every species that in the wild, overconfidence can always cost them their position. And within that natural order, true strength belongs to those that understand their own limits. If you enjoy wildlife documentaries, please like this video and subscribe to the channel.